ladies and gentlemen. There's something extraordinary about the stillness of the early morning. The world is silent. The distractions have not yet stirred. And in those quiet hours, something divine seems to whisper into the depths of your soul. Have you ever wondered why your body stirs, your eyes open, and you feel drawn to the clock that reads 3 a.m. or 5 a.m.? It is not by chance. It is not mere coincidence. It is an appointment with destiny. In those hours, heaven is calling your name. It is as if God has placed an alarm in your spirit that no earthly device can replicate. He is saying, awaken, my child, for I have something to deposit into you. Something that can only be delivered when your mind is clear, your heart is receptive, and your environment is free from the noise of the day. These moments are not interruptions. They are invitations. Invitations to align with purpose, to seek clarity, and to hear the voice of the one who made you. You see, in the ancient wisdom of Scripture and even in the rhythm of nature, the early hours are significant. Jacob wrestled with God in the night and received his blessing before the dawn. Jesus rose early to pray, withdrawing to solitary places when the world was still asleep. Why? Because clarity is born in quietness. Revelation is found in rest. The Creator often speaks in whispers, and to hear him, we must be still. Those early hours are your time of consecration. When God wakes you up, he's not simply stirring your body, he is awakening your spirit. He is reminding you of the dreams you buried under fear, the visions you delayed because of doubt, and the purpose you postponed because of procrastination. In those moments, he downloads strategies, wisdom, and insight that can alter the trajectory of your life. But you must be willing to respond. Let me tell you this. God doesn't just wake you up because he can. He wakes you because he has something urgent to tell you. Something that will not only change you, but everyone connected to you. He wakes you because there are prayers that need to be prayed, battles that need to be fought in the spiritual realm before the physical day begins. He wakes you because he sees the challenges ahead and wants to prepare you. He wakes you because he loves you too much to let you sleep through your calling. And here's the beautiful thing. When you respond, you unlock a flow of peace, power, and purpose that carries you through the day. You will find that what seemed overwhelming becomes manageable. What seemed impossible becomes achievable. But it begins with obedience. It begins with surrender. It begins with saying, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." So the next time you find yourself awake in those sacred hours, don't dismiss it as insomnia or a restless night. Recognize it for what it is, a divine summons. Get out of bed, kneel in prayer, open your heart, pick up that journal, open that book, and let God pour into you what the noise of the day would drown out. These moments are gifts. These hours are sacred, and if you honor them, they will honor you. God wakes you up not to disturb your sleep, but to awaken your destiny. Will you answer? Divine appointment, being awakened at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. is not a coincidence. It is a purposeful summons from God, designed for moments of deep spiritual connection and alignment with your destiny. Amen. Second, stillness. these early hours are unique because of their quietness, offering a rare opportunity for clarity and receptiveness to divine whispers that are often drowned out by the noise of the day. Preparation for purpose. God uses these moments to prepare you for challenges ahead, to equip you with wisdom, insight, and strategies necessary for your life and calling. Awakening of the Spirit. These wake-up calls are not just physical interruptions. They're spiritual awakenings, reminding you of buried dreams, forgotten visions, and delayed purposes. Spiritual warfare and prayer. Early morning wake-ups are invitations to engage in prayer, to intercede, and to handle spiritual battles that need addressing before the day unfolds. Obedience unlocks blessings. Responding to this divine call leads to peace, power, and purpose. Honoring these sacred moments allows you to tap into divine guidance that can transform your life. Waking up at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. often feels like an unexplained interruption, but it is far from random. It is a moment of divine intention, an appointment set by God Himself. These hours carry a weight of significance that goes beyond the physical. They are moments where heaven reaches down to touch earth, and you, chosen and called, are the focus of that interaction. In these moments, God is not simply disrupting your sleep. He is orchestrating a sacred encounter. While the world lies dormant, busy with dreams and the unconscious rhythms of the night, you are being invited into a space where divine purpose is revealed. It's as if the creator of the universe is saying, this is your time, a time carved out for you to meet with me without distraction. These early hours are void of the noise, chaos, and demands of daily life. They are pure, untainted, and perfectly designed for intimacy with God. Because when God wakes you up at such hours, it is a call to alignment. He knows the path set before you, the challenges you will face, and the potential you carry. But for you to walk in that fullness, He must first draw your attention to Him. There is a reason why kings, prophets, and leaders throughout history sought God in the stillness of the morning. It is the time when divine instructions are clearest, when the spirit is most receptive, and when distractions are at their weakest. These moments are not interruptions, they are interventions. Consider this. When Jacob wrestled with God, it was through the night, and his blessing came before the dawn. That was no coincidence. In the stillness, when all else is quiet, there is an opportunity to wrestle with the deeper questions of your life, to seek answers, and to receive direction. The timing of these divine wake-up calls is intentional, because the early hours represent new beginnings. Because the day has not yet started, but the foundation for its success is being laid in that sacred time. God wakes you up because He has something specific to give you. A word, an instruction, a warning, or even a revelation about who you are and who you are called to become. These are things He cannot deliver to you amid the distractions of the day. In the quietness of 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., your spirit is most in tune with His voice. Your mind, unburdened by the tasks and worries of the day, is more open to His guidance. It is a divine strategy designed to ensure that you receive what you need to walk boldly in your purpose. So the church was formed by God for the spirit of the times and how we live. These moments are deeply personal. God knows your unique journey, your struggles, and your triumphs. He wakes you up because he has a plan for you that requires your attention. It is a gesture of love, a sign of his care and investment in your life. He is saying, I see you. I know what you need, and I am here to equip you. It's not about disrupting your rest. It's about awakening your destiny. When you recognize these wake-ups for what they truly are, they shift from being inconvenient to being life-changing. You begin to see them as opportunities to meet with the one who holds the answers to every question you've been asking. You understand that this is not just about a moment in the middle of the night. It's about shaping the course of your entire life. God doesn't wake you up without a reason. He does it because he has something vital to impart to you, something that will unlock the next chapter of your journey. It is a divine appointment, and it is up to you to show up. The early hours of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. hold a unique and sacred stillness that is unlike any other time of the day, when the world around you is silent and distractions are at their minimum. These moments become fertile ground for clarity, reflection, and divine connection. There is an undeniable power in this quiet, a calmness that creates the perfect environment for deep spiritual engagement. At these hours, your mind and spirit are more open to hearing what the noise of the day often drowns out. During the waking hours, we are consumed by responsibilities, conversations, and the constant hum of life. Phones buzz, people call, and the demands of the world tug at our attention from every direction. But in the early morning stillness, these distractions fade away. It is as if God has orchestrated a pause in the chaos of life to create a sacred space where he can speak directly to you. This quiet is intentional. The Creator designed the rhythms of life with these moments in mind. In the stillness, your heart is softened and your mind is less cluttered. It is here that you can hear the gentle whispers of divine insight that would otherwise go unnoticed. These hours are not about the absence of sound alone. They are about the presence of something greater, a spiritual atmosphere ripe for revelation and intimacy with God. Throughout history, these quiet hours have been significant. Prophets, leaders, and seekers of wisdom have long understood the value of rising early to connect with the divine. The scriptures often tell us that Jesus himself withdrew to pray in the early hours of the morning, seeking solitude before the demands of his mission began. Why would he do this if not to tap into the clarity and strength that the quiet of those hours provides? If even the Son of God prioritized the stillness of the morning, how much more should we? The early hours also create a unique opportunity for reflection and introspection. When the world is still, your thoughts become clearer. It is easier to evaluate where you are, where you're going, and what adjustments need to be made. This self-awareness, coupled with divine guidance, can lead to transformative breakthroughs. In these moments, the voice of God and the truth of your own heart become more distinct. You are able to sift through the noise and focus on what truly matters. But the stillness of these hours is not just about what you hear, it is also about what you feel. There is a peace that comes with the early morning quiet, a peace that surpasses understanding. It is in this peace that you find strength, reassurance, and the confidence to face the day ahead. It is a reminder that before the world wakes up, You are already in the hands of the one who holds all things together. Douloremos. These quiet hours also serve as a reset for your spirit. The weight of yesterday's struggles and the anticipation of tomorrow's challenges fade away in the presence of the moment. It is a chance to release burdens, find renewed energy, and realign your focus. It is a time to be reminded that no matter how chaotic life may seem, there is a sacred stillness available to you. A stillness that anchors your soul. So when God wakes you up in these hours, recognize the gift you've been given. Recognize the opportunity to step into a quietness that is not empty, but full of His presence. Embrace the silence, for it is in this silence that He speaks. Open your heart, for it is in this stillness that He feels it. And allow yourself to be transformed, for it is in this peace that clarity, purpose, and divine direction are born. When God wakes you in the early hours of 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., it is not an arbitrary act. It is a deliberate moment of preparation. He is not merely interrupting your sleep, but positioning you for purpose, equipping you for the challenges ahead, and aligning your spirit with His divine plan. These moments are about readiness, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, for what lies ahead. Life is a journey filled with unexpected twists and turns, challenges and victories, and seasons of growth and transformation. Every day brings new opportunities and new obstacles. To navigate these with wisdom and strength, you need preparation, and this is what God offers in those early hours. The quiet moments before the day begins are a sacred time when your spirit is most open to receive the tools, insights, and guidance necessary for the tasks and trials you will face. Preparation is a principle deeply woven into the fabric of creation. Farmers prepare the soil before they plant seeds. Builders lay a foundation before they construct a home. Athletes train for months or years before competing. In the same way, God uses these early hours to prepare your heart, mind, and spirit. He equips you with what you need to face the unique demands of your calling and the specific situations that await you. When God stirs you awake, He is often depositing something critical into your spirit. It may be a word of encouragement, a revelation about your path, or a divine strategy to solve a problem. Sometimes He reveals insights about people or situations, giving you discernment that will guide your actions and decisions. At other times, He may simply draw you into His presence to renew your strength, reminding you that you are not walking this journey alone. These moments of preparation are not only about receiving guidance, but also about building resilience. Life often throws challenges at us that we cannot anticipate. Trials can test our faith, relationships, and resolve. In the stillness of the early morning, God fortifies your spirit, reminding you of His promises and renewing your confidence in His plan. He instills in you the courage to face adversity and the wisdom to navigate complexity. This preparation ensures that when challenges arise, you are not shaken but stand firm, anchored in His word and equipped for victory. The early hours also allow you to approach the day with intention. Many people rush into their days, reacting to whatever comes their way. But when you meet with God in those quiet moments, He helps you set the tone for your day. He sharpens your focus and aligns your priorities with His will. This intentionality allows you to move through your day with purpose and clarity, rather than being pulled in multiple directions by distractions and demands. One of the most profound aspects of this preparation is the sense of peace it brings. knowing that you have met with God, that he has spoken to you, and that you are aligned with his plan, gives you confidence. It reassures you that no matter what the day holds, you are not facing it alone. His presence goes before you, his wisdom guides you, and his strength sustains you. This peace is a powerful tool, enabling you to walk through life with assurance, no matter how chaotic the world around you may be. These early morning encounters are not just for you. As God prepares you, he is also preparing you to impact others. The wisdom, strength, and clarity you gain in those moments are meant to flow through you to the people you interact with throughout the day. Your preparation becomes a blessing not only for your own life, but for the lives of those around you. When you respond to God's wake-up call, you step into a divine process of preparation. You allow him to pour into you what you need for the journey ahead. This preparation ensures that you are not merely surviving your days, but thriving in them, equipped and ready to fulfill the purpose for which you were created. God wakes you to prepare you, and in that preparation, he sets you on the path to walk boldly in his plan for your life. Huh? When God wakes you up in the early hours of the morning, it is not just a physical stirring. It is a profound spiritual awakening. In these moments, he is doing something deeper than disrupting your rest. He is awakening your spirit to remind you of the dreams, visions, and purposes that you may have overlooked, delayed, or even abandoned. It is a sacred call to realign with the destiny he has placed within you. Every person carries within them seeds of potential. These seeds are the dreams, ideas, and callings that God planted in your heart long before you even understood their significance. But life has a way of burying those seeds under layers of fear, doubt, and the demands of daily living. Over time, you may find yourself settling for less, forgetting the passion and vision that once burned brightly within you. When God wakes you in the stillness of the early morning, it is his way of reigniting that fire and drawing your attention back to what truly matters. So you have all that day to be prayerful about your life. These moments are deeply personal. God knows the unique purpose he has for your life, and he understands the barriers that have kept you from fully embracing it. He sees the fears you haven't voiced, the doubts you wrestle with in private, and the disappointments that have caused you to hesitate. When he wakes you, it is as if he is saying, I haven't forgotten the plans I have for you, and neither should you. It is a reminder that the dreams he placed in your heart are still alive, even if they've been buried. God's wake-up call is also a call to clarity. In the busyness of life, it's easy to lose sight of your purpose and to become consumed by things that ultimately don't matter. The early hours of the morning, when the world is quiet and distractions are few, provide the perfect setting for introspection and alignment. It's a time to reconnect with your why, to ask yourself the hard questions, and to listen for God's answers. What are you called to do? Who are you meant to become? What steps must you take to move closer to the vision God has for your life? So, in these moments, God often brings to mind the dreams and visions you've placed on hold. Perhaps you've told yourself it wasn't the right time, or that you weren't ready. Perhaps you've been paralyzed by the fear of failure, or overwhelmed by the magnitude of the task. But when God wakes you, he's reminding you that his timing is perfect, and that his strength is made perfect in your weakness. He is calling you to trust him, to take the first step, and to believe that he will provide the resources, wisdom, and opportunities you need. This awakening is not just about reminding you of your dreams. It's also about equipping you to pursue them. God uses these quiet moments to deposit inspiration, ideas, and strategies into your spirit. He gives you insights that can transform obstacles into opportunities and challenges into stepping stones. He reminds you that you are not alone in this journey and that he is actively working on your behalf. When God awakens your spirit, he also calls you to action. Dreams without action remain dormant. Visions without steps remain unfulfilled. The early hours are a call to move, to pray, to plan, and to prepare. It's a call to lay aside excuses and to step into the fullness of your purpose with boldness and faith. This awakening is also a gift of reassurance. It is God's way of telling you that it is not too late, that you are not disqualified, and that the best is yet to come. He reminds you that his plans for you are good, plans to prosper you and give you hope and a future. When he wakes you, he's awakening not just your dreams, but your confidence in him. In those sacred hours, allow yourself to listen, to reflect, and to respond. God is awakening your spirit for a reason. He is calling you to remember who you are, to embrace the purpose he has for you, and to step boldly into the future he has prepared. Trust his voice, honor the moment, and move forward in faith. When God wakes you at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., it is often a call to engage in something that transcends the natural realm, a call to prayer, intercession, and spiritual warfare. These moments are not just for reflection and guidance. They are invitations to step into the spiritual battlefield, to address matters that require your attention in the unseen realm before they manifest in the physical. God stirs your spirit at this time because there are battles to fight, victories to claim, and purposes to protect. Prayer is not just a ritual, it is a weapon. When you rise in the early hours to pray, you are stepping into a position of authority. You are partnering with God to shape outcomes, to push back darkness, and to declare his will over your life, your family, and your circumstances. These moments are significant because they come at a time when spiritual activity is heightened. In the quiet stillness, there is a unique atmosphere for prayer, free from distractions and the noise of the day. It is a time when heaven's frequency is most clearly heard and your spirit is most attuned to divine movements. Look, the early hours are often when spiritual battles are won or lost. The Bible tells us that the enemy prowls like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. These quiet hours are strategic for him because they are when many are at their most vulnerable, physically asleep, spiritually disengaged. But when God wakes you, it is his way of calling you to stand guard, to be alert, and to take authority over the things the enemy seeks to disrupt or destroy. He is equipping you to intercept the plans of the adversary before they take root. In these moments, prayer becomes a shield, a fortress, and a declaration of victory. It is not just about asking for what you need. It is about enforcing the promises of God. You pray for protection, for provision, and for the fulfillment of His plans in your life. You intercede for others, your loved ones, your community, and even the world. It is in these moments that breakthroughs are birthed as you engage with the power of God to bring about change that extends beyond your immediate circumstances. Spiritual warfare is not only about defending against attacks, it is also about advancing God's kingdom. When you wake to pray, you are partnering with God to bring His purposes into reality. You are declaring His will over situations, aligning yourself with His plans, and creating space for His plans and creating space for His power to move. In doing so, you are not just reacting to challenges, but proactively shaping outcomes according to His will. The early hours also carry a prophetic significance. Many times God will reveal things to you in prayer that you need to be aware of. Warnings, insights, or even glimpses of what is to come. These revelations are not meant to burden you, but to prepare and empower you. When you pray over these revelations, you are standing in agreement with heaven, ensuring that God's plans prevail over the schemes of the enemy. Prayer in these moments also strengthens your relationship with God. It reminds you of your dependence on Him and deepens your trust in His ability to handle what you cannot. As you pour out your heart and listen for His voice, you experience His peace even in the face of uncertainty. This peace is a powerful reminder that no matter how intense the battle, victory is already assured through Him. And footnote: when God wakes you up, He is not only calling you to pray for yourself, but to stand in the gap for others. There are people whose lives depend on your intercession. Family members who need healing, friends who need direction, and even strangers whose circumstances you may never fully understand. Your prayers have the power to reach places you cannot physically go, and to impact situations you may never see. In those sacred hours, respond to the call with urgency and faith. Recognize that your prayers are not powerless whispers, but mighty declarations that shift atmospheres and change outcomes. God is calling you to engage, to fight, and to partner with Him in bringing His kingdom to earth. When you rise in obedience, you are stepping into a divine assignment that carries eternal significance. Stand firm, pray boldly, and trust that your efforts in those moments are not in vain. When God wakes you at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., it is not just a call to action, it is an opportunity to unlock blessings that are tied to your obedience. These moments are not arbitrary. They are divine appointments designed to shift your life, elevate your faith, and position you for the fulfillment of God's promises. The key to receiving the blessings tied to these wake-up calls is simple but profound: obedience. Obedience is a principle that runs throughout the Bible, often linked directly to the release of God's favor. When God wakes you in the stillness of the early morning, it is an invitation to step into His presence and align yourself with His will. It is not a demand, nor is it forced upon you. It is an offering, a gesture of divine love and intention. How you respond in those moments determines what unfolds next. And the natural: waking up at such hours might seem inconvenient or unnecessary. You may feel the pull of sleep, the weight of fatigue, or the temptation to ignore the call. But obedience requires sacrifice. It means pushing past your comfort and choosing to trust that God's timing is perfect. It means recognizing that if He is calling you, There is a purpose far greater than your current understanding. Your decision to rise in those moments is not just an act of faith, it is an act of surrender. When you obey and step into these early moments with God, you open the door to blessings that would otherwise remain inaccessible. One of the first blessings of obedience is peace. When you respond to his call, you are reminded of his presence, his sovereignty, and his care for you. This peace is not a fleeting emotion. It is a deep assurance that you are walking in alignment with his plan. So it is the kind of peace that strengthens you, grounds you, and carries you through whatever the day may bring. Another blessing tied to obedience is clarity. In the stillness of the early morning, God speaks with precision. He reveals insights, answers questions, and provides direction that may have eluded you in the noise of daily life. These moments of divine revelation are not random. They are intentional deposits meant to guide you. When you listen and act on what he reveals, you position yourself for success in areas where you may have previously struggled. Obedience also brings spiritual growth. Rising to meet God in those early hours stretches your faith and strengthens your relationship with him. It requires you to, response 1, memory updated. In the secret hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., God's wake-up call is a profound gift, a divine invitation to step into alignment with his purpose, to hear his voice, and to prepare for the journey ahead. It is a time of stillness where clarity, strength, and revelation are imparted. In these moments, he awakens your spirit, equips you for spiritual battles, reignites your dreams, and blesses your obedience with peace and guidance. Responding to this call requires faith, sacrifice, and a willingness to trust in his timing and plan. Yet the rewards are immeasurable. By choosing to rise in those quiet hours, you are not only honoring God, but stepping into the fullness of what he has prepared for you. Let these moments transform your heart, strengthen your resolve, and deepen your connection with him. But the next time you find yourself awake in those early hours, don't dismiss it. Recognize it as an extraordinary opportunity, a sacred appointment with the Creator, where purpose is revealed and lives are changed. Embrace the call and watch as God unfolds his promises in your life. Response 2. The moments when God wakes you at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. are not interruptions, they are divine invitations. They are calls to connect with him in the stillness, to reflect on his voice, to prepare for his plans, to awaken your purpose, to engage in spiritual warfare, and to unlock blessing through obedience. These sacred hours are a reminder that he is not distant but present, intimately involved in every detail of your life. When you respond to his call, you step into a partnership with the creator of the universe, aligning your heart and actions with his will. You position yourself to hear his whispers, to receive his strength, and to fulfill the purpose for which you were created. In these moments, clarity replaces confusion, peace overcomes chaos, and your faith is renewed with power. Let us not dismiss these wake-up calls as mere coincidences or inconveniences. They are precious opportunities to draw closer to God, to align with his plans, and to embrace the fullness of what he has for us. So the next time he stirs you in the quiet hours, rise with expectancy, knowing that he is calling you into something greater than yourself. Trust him, seek him, and watch as these sacred moments transform not just your day, but the entirety of your life.